Hi guys, my name's Emma and let's talk spooky stuff. Guys, it's the end of the month already, what the hell. I am so excited. I have watched a lot of rando movies this month, so I'm excited to get into it. First, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, who is my friend Dino. You guys know Dino on YouTube, the Late Late Horror Show. This episode is actually sponsored by his podcast, Paranormal Into the Night, and I'll get more into the details a little further on. But first, let's go straight to the juicy stuff that you guys want to hear. Let's talk about what I watched this month. I'm using my phone today because my internet is not working. First movie I watched was Stigmata. I watched this for Does This Offend You? I'm sure you guys have heard enough about this by now. I then watched Bridget Jones's Baby. I'm actually a huge Bridget Jones fan. I really love the first one. This one, not so much. I feel like they really spoiled it, but you guys don't want to hear about my thoughts on Bridget Jones. Let's move on. I watched this Scandinavian film, What Will People Say? It starts off in Norway. This is a film that was part of the Scandinavian Film Festival that I went to. So this was opening night. It was really hard to watch, I'm not gonna lie. Terrifying, really sad, really full on. It was emotional and it was a lot, and not in the way that you guys like that in the disturbing way, just in like the realistic drama way. I then watched Hereditary. I went back and saw this at the cinema. I actually did a come with me for my Patreons, and I had a better experience, although someone did walk in halfway through. We were in a tiny cinema and they said, "Well, I can't see in here, there's no lights on." And we were like, "You're a dick, we're watching a movie, can you please stop?" But I definitely picked up on a lot more that I hadn't, and love this film. Next, I watched The Mouse, which I did a review on. Then I watched The Last Exorcism. I need to watch the second one. I haven't seen the second one yet. This again was a rewatch that I did for Does This Offend You? I then went on to watch The Wildling, which I was actually gonna do a review for you guys on this film, but I didn't enjoy it, and it was just so, look at Liv Tyler, how beautiful is she? It was just so that I just had nothing to say about it. It was like Ginger Snaps trying hard to meet When Animals Dream, and it didn't get anywhere for me. I then watched Robots. This is a film that I watched with Dean. I think I've seen this film before. Probably the most amazing and sad part about this is Robin Williams is in there, and this is around the time of his anniversary of his death, which was really sad, but not a great movie, not a bad movie. I then watched Ocean's 8, which I'm gonna get a whole lot of shit from that, but I actually really liked it. I was very surprised by the backlash for this film, because normally, let's stay out of the politics of the whole fucking thing, but normally when a film I like, and a lot of people don't like, I can understand that. But for this one, I couldn't understand that, because I thought that this film was fine. Anyway, I've had discussions with you guys are hating on it, and that's your right, but for me, I actually really liked it. I then watched a Serbian film, which I did my video on. If you haven't seen that, you definitely need to check it out. I really get into it, and it's an important message, is it? I don't know. You guys seem to really like that video, so thank you for all your comments. I really enjoyed reading them. I then watched A Fist Fight, which Dean, I watched this with my boyfriend again. I decided to watch this one. I normally would stay away from films like this, but only because Charlie Day's in it, and I love Charlie Day. It also has Tracy Morgan, who I love. I then watched The Devil's Doorway, which I'm sure you guys have seen my review on. Still on the fence with that one, and I learned from the comments that a lot of you guys are also on the fence with that one. I then went to watch Phantom of the Opera. Guys, is it truly a life if you don't spend at least 2 hours a year watching Phantom of the Opera and then singing it for the next week in the shower? Is it? I don't know. You don't want to hear my version of Masquerade, but yeah. I love Phantom of the Opera. If you guys didn't know that, I'm a huge fan. I saw the musical when I was in London by myself, mind you. That's how much I love it. I wanted to watch it. And I have watched, I don't think I've seen all of the versions, but pretty much all of the versions of Phantom of the Opera. I was talking about this on Instagram Live the other day. I think there's like 20 or something, it's insane. But the 2004 version is so funny because, number one, I think that Gerard Butler is amazing as the Phantom, but Patrick Wilson as Raoul, like, just makes me die. Like, he is just not I don't know, just seeing him in that character just makes me live and die at the same time, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that's an experience, and that's 4 out of 5 for me, guys. That is just a personal ass thing. Moving on, I watched Shelter, which has Julianne Moore in it. This was on Netflix, I believe, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll just watch this in the background. Realized, I think Dean came home halfway through or towards the end, and he was like, we've watched this already. So it was one of those films. We need to come up with a name for films that you keep watching because you think that you've never seen them, and then you realize you've seen them like 6 times. It's like a bland something. You guys, I need a name. Come up with a name below. I will use that as my monthly mission now. I then watched The Breaker-Upperers, which is a New Zealand comedy. I was invited to go see the premiere here, or the event screening, whatever you want to call it. It was quite cute, but it was just kind of like a long sketch. It wasn't really, I don't know, it wasn't as structured as I would have liked. I know that you guys like a lot of New Zealand horror movies that are comedies, you know, Black Sheep, Deathgasm, Dead Alive. What I'm trying to say is if you do come across it, you'll probably really like it. So give it a whirl. I then watched Stephanie, which I have done a review on. I'm not sure if that's out yet, as this is going up. I then watched Lake Placid. What a film, you know. A dime a dozen for these kind of films, but I thought it was really funny because number one, who was it? Betty White's in it, which I thought was really funny. But then also when Dean and I were looking this up later, there's actually a new one coming out, which I think is hilarious. Dean and I then watched Speed 1, or just Speed, and then Speed 2, Cruise Control. It's so funny because last night while I'm filming this, I just watched Cooties. I'll get to that in a second, but so funny because they actually made a reference to Speed 2 Cruise Control, and I understood the reference. Who am I? I watched this because Dean hadn't seen Speed before, and Speed's not a bad film. I love a bit of Keanu Reeves in my life. Speed 2, not so much. It was just, we had it and we watched it. I then watched The Neverending Story, which is so weird to go back and watch. Mainly because not much actually happens in the first one. Like, he doesn't go into the book until the very end, which I totally forgot. But still cute, still like cute and fun and very theatrical. I love that kind of stuff. I then watched this movie I need to warn you guys about, which is called In the Cut. It was like an erotic, crazy ass, like, it claimed to be a thriller, but it was not. It has Meg Ryan in it too, which was bizarre to me. And Kevin Bacon is in it, but he's not credited, and I don't know, this film was awful. You can see some of the reviews down the bottom, although this person's given it 4 stars, crazy. Yeah, will not recommend it. It doesn't make any sense. It's just like a soft porno with no storyline. You might as well just skip it and go to the real thing. I then watched Final Vision, which is actually a TV movie, which we didn't realize until we started watching it, but it definitely had that look. But I love a TV movie, so I was all for it. It's about a man who's on trial for murdering his family, and then a reporter, journalist goes in and tries to cover the case for him to write a book based on a true story. Once again, to talk about Dean actually picked the ending, which I was very proud of. I then watched Downrange, which I do have a review either out or coming out. Depends what I put up on Monday. You will see. I then watched Planet 51, which I have seen before. Love a bit of aliens. I then watched Scream. I just felt like watching something familiar, and I haven't seen Scream in a while. Oldie but a goodie, so good. It has everything, but not too much, you know? I then watched Cooties last night, which I was surprised Lee Whannell was in there. No one told me about that. And obviously Elijah Wood. I really love Elijah Wood in this. I thought it was fun. It wasn't as like kitschy as I thought it was gonna be. It was quite kitschy, but it wasn't as kitschy. And I don't know, it's just a cute little like horror comedy. I'm for that. I'm all for that. I haven't even put in the movie I just watched before, which is What Happened to Monday, which is a sci-fi movie. Let's see, this is where I go 3, this is real life for me. 3, 2.5, 3, 2.5. I'll give it a 3. I watched this movie today. It is about, it's like a dystopian future. They live in this time where you're only meant to have 1 child per family, and there's 7 of them, so they're named every day of the week. I'm giving you a real quick rundown, and one day, Monday disappears. So it's fun. I felt like the ending was like really draggy, but if you like sci-fis and you like that kind of thing, it's a really fun setup. Goes for a little bit too long, but it seems like looking at these reviews down here, you guys really liked it. So definitely worth a watch maybe for you guys. Hi guys, just jumping in here quickly. After I recorded this video, I watched The Devil and Father Amorth, which is insane. It is a documentary about the guy who directed The Exorcist and him going and filming a real exorcism. And it's not as glorified as you think, so it's like very realistic and very interesting, and it's on Netflix right now. I think you guys should all watch it. I really enjoyed it, and it was definitely delving into the psychology behind exorcism, which you'll see later on in this video. I talk about a book that I'm reading, which is bang on with this, so I absolutely loved it. If you're into that kind of stuff, you'll really enjoy it. Check it out on Netflix. You won't be sorry.
At the time I directed the film The Exorcist, I had never seen the real thing. But on May 1st, 2016, Father Gabriele Amorth, the Vatican exorcist, invited me to witness an actual exorcism. I had no idea what to expect.
Let's talk about TV. I finished Handmaid's Tale season 2. Yes. That season starts off so weird because it's really fast at the start and then it gets really slow for like 5 episodes. And then at the end, it's like bang, 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 which is what you expect. Because if it was no bang, then I would be like, because it needs a cliffhanger. Obviously it's going into season 3, but I really liked the ending. I felt like it had a purpose. If you haven't watched it, just stick with it to the ending. Just stay there. And now it's time for a quick message from our sponsor, Paranormal Into the Night podcast. The podcast will be relaunching in mid-August on Saturday and Sunday nights. You can catch them at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 9 p.m. Pacific Time. This is an interview style podcast. I'm not sure if you guys have heard me speak about it in the past, which I have. They really dig deep into the paranormal and they have some amazing guests. Dino really knows how to get in there and really get people to open up, which I love. It's very natural and authentic. They deal with things like vampires, aliens, and ghosts, and they're even gonna bring a creepypasta element into the show soon. You can catch the shows live on Facebook, on YouTube, and even catch up on all the backlog shows on iTunes and Google Podcasts. And if you do like the show, make sure to give them a like and join their Facebook group. Next up, I want to talk really quickly about this book I've started reading. I was looking for, this is so funny, I've been reading on my Kindle a lot more. I'm trying, guys, I'm really trying. I'm trying to do like an hour of relaxation time before I go to bed, so reading's part of that. So, you know, what's more relaxing than Binding the Devil? I really like the science perspective on, you know, the kind of paranormal stuff like Ouija boards and all that kind of stuff, and this is on exorcism, and I was looking for a book like that, then I realized I picked this up last year at the Haunted Bookshop in Melbourne, if anyone lives in Melbourne. Love that shop. And I'm finding it really interesting and it's really short. So let me know if any of you guys have read this, or let me know if you have any kind of science perspective approach, horror books, non-fiction that you like. I'm trying to get a lot more of that in there. A lot more education, horror education, I think is very important. So please let me know down in the comments. I would love to take on your suggestions and hopefully download them, especially since I'm going away. So I'd love to read them on my trip. Next, I want to talk to you guys about a thing. I just wanted to mention this to you guys because you might have seen, not really this month, but in the previous months, I have been doing a little secret challenge. I've been doing an A24, if you guys know the production house, A24. I've been doing a little challenge with my Patreons where we are trying to watch, I think there's 76 movies by the end of the year. A couple of them still have to be released, but I've just kind of pasted exactly what movies are on the list. So if you do see that, that's something fun that we're doing on the Patreon if you join. I try and bring as much fun interactive elements in as I can. So that's why I've been watching a lot of sucky movies, but it's so fun, and I really encourage you guys to pick a list and kind of go with it because it is a fun journey. If you can find some buddies to do it with you, A+. If you are thinking about becoming a patron, and you want to find out about the rewards, I'm not going to go on and on about it, but I do have a link down below, and we would love if you could come and join our family. I want to talk really quickly about the templates I've been doing on Instagram. A lot of you guys have been really enjoying them, and thank you so much for doing them. If you guys don't know what templates are on Instagram, it's pretty much like a fun interactive way you can kind of let people know about you, and I've been making these really cool kind of multiple choice ones. I also do a fuck, marry, kill version, fun things like that. So if you are on Instagram, please follow me, and I have all the templates on my page. If you want to spookify your stories and your Instagram a little bit more, that's a great way to do it. And I'm having a lot of fun making them. You guys seem to really like them. And just before we get onto the monthly mission, I do want to give a quick update about the 31 Days of Horror. Guys, I've closed off the entries. We got over, I think we got 200 or 300. Dean puts them into an Excel sheet. It is a process, and it's a process I'm actually documenting for the patrons this year because it goes through the works. So right now we are trying to locate all of the movies, which takes a long time. So bear with me. I'm excited, guys. Hopefully this time next month I'll be able to show you my intro, which I make every year. Hype you guys up a little bit. I'm very excited. And the monthly mission, which I've already mentioned, guys, let's find a name that we can all use for movies that we rewatch and we don't realize we've already seen. If you watch as many movies as I do, which I know you guys do, you probably have had this happen to you. You see an awesome cover, you're like, yeah, this looks really like my thing. Halfway through, you realize you have already seen the film. It needs to have a name like Deja Vu, or I don't know, Blend, and I don't know, we need a name. That way we can start a hashtag, and then every time you guys come across a movie that is like that, you can use the hashtag, and then we can warn each other. I want to thank you guys so much for being here, and I also want to thank again my sponsor for today, which is Paranormal Into the Night podcast. Guys, you need to check it out. It's definitely a fun ride, and you guys know Dino is great. I'll leave the links down below, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Stay spooky. Bye.